Hello, this is Sonia from Beta Healthcare. Today, I would like to show you how to use SNOWOWL to search for terms within the UK edition of the SNOMED CT terminology. As we go through the examples, I will also provide a bit of background information on the content of SNOMED CT. When you open SNOWOWL, you will see a screen similar to this one. This is the text field where you can enter a search term. Let's look for myocardial infarction. I type in myo, hit tab to autocomplete, and the matching term is already displayed in the list. So all I have to do is click it, and this will open up a concept editor where we can find detailed information about this concept. The concept editor consists of 3 different sections which can be opened and closed using the triangles. Let's look at the first one. Descriptions are terms or clinical phrases that describe a concept. Each concept has a fully specified name. This is this one here, which is a name that is unique for this concept. The fully specified name also has a term in parentheses which is called the semantic tag. The semantic tag refers to the top-level hierarchy the concept belongs to. In this hierarchical view, we can see the SNOMED CT hierarchy with the root concept on the top and the 19 top-level concepts, each of them representing a different hierarchy. So myocardial infarction would belong to disorder, would be a subcategory of clinical finding. There are also several synonyms which are names or terms with the same or similar meaning, such as cardiac infarction, heart attack, or MI for myocardial infarction. One term is marked as with a rosette icon. This is this one here, myocardial infarction. This indicates the preferred term. The preferred term is the description that is most commonly used by clinicians, and this can vary from country to country. Since we're looking at the UK edition, this is the preferred term for the UK. Another country might have a different preferred term. The preferred term is also what shows up in the search list up here, because it's the term that is most likely searched for and known. By the way, the terms are sorted here is based on their global usage frequency. So terms that are used more often in practice will have a higher ranking and show up higher on the list. Let's look at the next section, the properties. It displays the concept's relationships, which give you information on how the concept is connected to other concepts. There's always at least one is-a relationship, which indicate the parent concept, or in this case we have 3 parent concepts, which are concepts that are one level higher up in the hierarchy. Let me show you what this looks like. I'm just going to connect the editor with the hierarchical view, and now we can see where myocardial infarction is located within the SNOMED CT hierarchy, and if we go one level higher up, we can see myocardial disease, which is one of the parent concepts, this one here. If I want to see the other one, I can just simply look at the parent's view with the myocardial infarction on top and the parents on the bottom. So it's exactly the other way around. So parent concepts are more general terms, like there are a lot of myocardial diseases, and myocardial infarction is one of them. However, there are different types of heart attack, which are the children. Actually, this one has 62 children. If you hover over a concept, you can see the children displayed. So children are more specific terms, such as acute myocardial infarction or post-operative myocardial infarction. And if I open this one and browse even further down in the hierarchy, I can see different subtypes of post-operative myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction has also some other relationships, which are down here. One is the finding side. This tells us where the disease occurs, which is in the heart muscle, so in the myocardium structure. We can also learn something about the associated morphology, so about the form and the structure of the disease, which is an infarct, so this refers to tissue deaths. Let's take a look at the last section, the SNOMED CT properties. Here we can find metadata about the concept. For example, the concept ID, which is a unique identifier, numerical identifier of the concept. We can see when the concept was published, this is the effective time, and which module it belongs to. So this one here is the SNOMED CT core module. If it was a concept that was created for a particular country or region, for example the UK, you could see this here. Let me show an example for a concept that is specific for the UK, the Pain Self-Efficacy Questionnaire. And I don't have to type in the entire term. I can just type in the acronym, and here's already the concept I was looking for. And here you can see that this is the United Kingdom Clinical Extension module. And if we look at the hierarchical view, you can see that the icon has a little flag of the United Kingdom. And so we can very easily distinguish which are specific for the UK edition of SNOMED CT. So these concepts that have the little flag. Okay, let's close the hierarchy and just look at the top level concepts. As I said, the fully specified name is unique, so two concepts cannot have the same fully specified name. However, the same preferred term can have different meanings. Let me give you an example. If I type in the term dressing, it shows up 3 times in my list, dressing, dressing, dressing. So I don't know which is the dressing I'm looking for. So these icons actually help you to identify what kind of concept you're seeing here. So this one, the magnifying glass, refers to the top level category of observable entity. So this would be dressing as a personal care activity, so getting dressed. This one is a qualifier value, so that refers to a unit of drug administration. And this one is the physical object you might have thought of. This is the dressing that is applied on a wound, and this has the little icons, the icon for the glasses. So the icons help you to instantly pick the concept that you're looking for. It's not necessary to open each of them up to find out which one you wanted to find. Okay. It's also possible to restrict a search. For example, if you were looking for all the procedures associated with dressing, you could use this button that opens up a search dialog, and you can enter a search term here, dressing, and then you can restrict it to a certain top level concept. Of course, there are a lot of other possibilities, but I just wanted to show you this one. Click search, and then the search results are displayed in this window here. This can be maximized, and there you have 93 results. And if you want to take a closer look, you just double click it, and this opens up the concept editor about the procedure application of dressing. Even within the same category, you can have synonymous terms. A good example for this case is fundus, which refers to the bottom section of an organ, and dependent on what specialist you're talking to, the term might refer to different organs. But since the preferred term is displayed here in the list and not the synonym, you can actually instantly see what kind of fundus this concept is about. So for example, fundus of eye, fundus of gallbladder. And it's also possible to create a customized search profile so that your concepts are sorted based on your specialty. So if you're an eye doctor, you might modify your search results so that this fundus would show up higher in the list, or you could exclude certain terms, for instance, the non-human terms, the non-human reference set, then this fundus would not be displayed at all because it's a veterinary term. Okay, finally, I would like to show you that you can not only do searches for concepts, but also for a reference set. There's one called Occupational Therapy Assessment Scales. Here are again the SNOMED CT concepts. I just typed in the term occupational, so this is everything with occupational. And then in this category, you can see this is a reference set. These are actually results from ICD-10, so you can search other terminologies as well. But let's look at the reference set. I maximize it. This reference set here has 117 members, and now you can do a special kind of search which is called filter search that only searches within this reference set. So let's look for the Allen Cognitive Level Screening Tool. It's already here. And if you click it, then you can see detailed information displayed about this concept again. If I did the same kind of search up here in the quick search, it would search the entire ontology. And let's see what happens. So here are also the two results that I had in the reference set, but I also have some results in gray, and the gray indicates that these are not exact matches but approximate matches, and so I have an observable entity, the score, or I have a procedure, the assessment procedure of actually administering this Allen Cognitive Level Screening test. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you. It was just a short introduction. If you want more detailed information, please go to our website. There are lots of videos there and documentation about different kinds of searches you can do with SNOWOWL and about the other features of SNOWOWL. And I hope you found it useful and interesting, and thank you very much for your attention.